Hey everyone, I am going to film, or I'm going to tell you about, the much requested DiorSkin Nude foundation. Sorry I can't talk. There seems to be some kind of brain block on today. I did have most of my video recorded, and then I got a phone call from an estate agent wanting to book a flat viewing for Kiwi and I, and it ruined the whole video, and I don't want to take it into edit because then that will ruin the whole HD, you can see every pore on my face-ness about the thing. It'll take away all the quality from the HD. So I would like to tell you about this foundation. The packaging is pretty great. It's glass, so it's very solid feeling, and it has a very secure lid. The pump is, you know, yay, pump. It's not that hard to put a pump on a foundation, you know, just saying. The pump is actually pretty effective. It dispenses quite a good amount of foundation. No problems with the packaging thus far. Yeah, happy with that. You do get 30 ml, by the way, just saying. I should stop saying just saying. Internet speak does not translate to real life. I've really got to drum that into my head. I said lol in conversation the other day. Right, back to the review. The product is a lightweight, shimmer-free, dewy foundation. The interesting thing is that it's shimmer-free, yet it is dewy. When I had the Revlon photo ready, I could definitely notice the shimmer particles and like bits, chunks of glitter and mess and ugh in it. But with this, it does actually make you look very dewy, very refreshed, glowy. I really like the effect it gives on your skin, but it doesn't have any of that noticeable shimmer in it. Obviously, it does have some kind of illuminating aspect about it, but as yet it's not overly glittery or shimmery or anything like that. So for those of you who didn't like photo ready, this might be a more suitable alternative. I think the main thing about this foundation is that it's so lightweight. When I blend this into my skin, I actually can't feel it for the rest of the day. I'm not even really aware that I'm wearing foundation, and I think that's really the important thing for me, because for a foundation that I want to wear through the summer, this is pretty much perfect. I can't feel it. It's not gonna sweat off really easily and go patchy and feel uncomfortable, and that's, for me, comfort on my face in summer is pretty much a very, very high priority thing. I don't care about the finish of the foundation as long as my face feels comfortable and it feels light and feels like it can breathe. So that's a really important thing for me. In terms of consistency, it's a thickish consistency. It's definitely not as thick as NARS Sheer Matte, but you know, it's thick enough that it won't run all over your hand whilst you're applying it, should you use it like that, because that's the way I use it. It is a water-based formulation, so it is oil-free. That is not to say that it is good for oily skin. I haven't had any particular problems. I do get an oily forehead, and I have been getting an oily forehead with this, but not any different to any other foundations that I would normally wear that aren't mattifying, such as NARS Sheer Glow. I do get an oily forehead with NARS Sheer Glow, and it's there's no real difference between the two in terms of oil stoppage. But bear in mind that because it's not oil-free, you may need to set it with a good powder. Everyone knows that I like the Kryolan Anti-Shine powder, but bear in mind again that if you do choose to set it with powder, you are negating the whole point of the foundation. I set with powder with this foundation along my T-zone and where I've put concealer and other cream products, you know, things that will crease. But otherwise, there's no point setting with a powder with this foundation all over your face, because you'll basically negate the whole point of the natural, beautiful skin dewiness, loveliness that it creates. But in terms of coverage, it is a sheer coverage foundation. It is very, very light. and it is very, very good for evening out your skin tone, taking down redness, and you know, it's not going to conceal your imperfections. If you've got really flawed skin, if you've got, you know, acne, scarring, or huge blemishes, I know that I'm not wearing it today because I do have a few spots. My skin is like, ha ha ha, 2 months with no spots. It's like, yeah, you know, it's come back to rebel, bite me in the ass. But if you've got really big spots, it's not going to be able to get, you know, cover them on its own. It is a skin, it's basically designed to give you a really lovely kind of finish, but let your skin show through at the same time. So it's kind of like a Your Skin but better foundation in that sense. In terms of, one thing, it is scented. It does have this kind of floral scent. It's kind of like cucumbers, floral and chemical in the sense of makeup, and not the, you know, not like bleach or anything, but in the sense of something not organic. So it does have a smell, so if you're particularly sensitive to smells, then this may not be for you. It does have a scent. But in terms of when you should wear this, I think this is my perfect summer foundation. It's very, very light, it evens out my skin tone, my skin is allowed to breathe. It would also be good for summer evenings, and compared to a tinted moisturiser, I would say that this is kind of the step up from a tinted moisturiser, and then you have a medium coverage foundation. This is pretty sheer. It's for people who want to wear something lighter in summer, but don't want to go as light as a tinted moisturiser, or who don't like tinted moisturiser. I mean, we all have very different skin types, so if you feel like you want to wear a foundation in summer, this would probably be a very good bet for you. In terms of wear, I get about 6 hours, which isn't like a huge amount, and it isn't the worst. I am bearing in mind that this isn't an oil control formula, so the problem with it is that it will start to kind of dissipate and, you know, kind of disappear during the day. It doesn't go patchy, and it doesn't go streaky, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable on my skin at the end of the day, but it doesn't last as long as something like Sheer Glow. It is a lot more sheer, however, and a lot less heavy, so that's probably the reason. Also that it's water-based, so it's not got that kind of cling factor to your skin. A setting powder does work wonders, but as I said, be aware that you will change how the foundation looks if you use too much. So Dior say that this foundation contains, well, it contains titanium dioxide, I can tell you that straight off, but they do have natural mineral pigments, and also, I have to read this off, Dior's exclusive mineralised water, and it's supposed to, all these things are supposed to help improve the quality of your skin over time with wear. Can't say I've seen any of that. In fact, I've got spots today, so, you know, that's not to say it's broken me out, it's just to say that, you know, it's a hormonal thing, but I really can't vouch for the fact that it's improved my skin over time, probably because I've not been using it for longer than a month and a half, but you know. In terms of shade range, limited. I have personally only seen the shade range and shades ending in a 0 in the shops in the UK. So I've seen 010 or number 10, number 20, number 30, number 40. Apparently there are other shade ranges. There is a warm, which is all shades ending in a 1, and there is a cool where all shades end in a 2. I haven't seen those in the UK, I haven't seen them anywhere, but be aware that there are other shades available, but they are fairly limited, depending on where you shop. So wind this review up. The pros are that it's lightweight with a very natural, beautiful finish, covers redness very well, it's great for healthy looking, happy skin, and there are no sparkles, so I'm happy with that. Cons, it does oxidise. Not so noticeably on my face, more on my hand. If I leave it on my hand, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Can you see that where it's oxidised on my hand? I never actually noticed that happening on my skin, but really on my hand I can tell that it's definitely oxidising, so that's something to bear in mind. It is also very expensive and it's not as long wearing as other foundations. However, it's good for those who are looking for a lightweight foundation for summer, good for those of you who only like a lightweight foundation anyway with few skin flaws, and I would say it's good for all skin types. I haven't noticed it grabbing to my oily skin. It is very, very hydrating and dewy in that respect. The way that I like to apply it is with the Sigma 197. I think anything else will apply too much product in one place, although to be honest with this brush it shouldn't be too much of a big deal because it's so, with this foundation it shouldn't be too much of a big deal because it's so easy to blend. So hopefully you found this review helpful. So it was a bit long, and I'll see you for another video in a bit.